Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, the 18th of April, 2026. You join us just leaving the campsite at Lamagdelaine, past the bakery. The aim this morning is Gourdon first, which is a little way away from the Lot Valley, and then back down to the Lot Valley and see how far we get. Many of the Lot villages are of some age and date back to medieval or even Roman and earlier. I think Laroque Des-Arcs is one of them. Little to be found on the web about it, though, but it is a pretty village, and we do go through an arch. Valroufie, I can't find anything about the village. It's a picturesque rural village in the Lot Valley. Coming out of Valroufie, we climb up through out of the Lot Valley. The narrow road twists and turns quite a lot. I've left the section in at high speed. Seniergues. Driving through this village, looking back on the video afterwards, I see we missed the main part of the village, which is actually off to the left as we go around the bend. A quick scoot through Peyrebrune, nothing known about it. Le Vigan-en-Quercy has a long history because before it was called Le Vigan, the village was known as Cabrerets, which attests to a place dating back past at least to the Gallo-Roman era. At that time, the suffix "ac" indicated a place belonged to a person. The wealthiest Romans established villas in the countryside and gave them their names. And you also see driving through the village that the French have roadworks, but make much less of them than we do in the UK. Gourdon has a rich prehistoric past that can still be seen today through the high concentration of prehistoric sites in the area. As we climb into the village, it is market day today, but we do manage to find a parking space and I have a walk through the village. I don't film any of the market, but there was a lot of people about and it seemed to have a thriving community. Driving along here, some nice person just pulled out just big enough to get the van in. We get back in the van and pull off. The market was really interesting and the thriving community. As you can see, we follow the traffic round the village. And head back towards the river lots. Heading back towards the Lot Valley, the next village is Pont de Rhodes. The internet does not have much to say about Pont de Rhodes apart from the rewilding experiment following the removal of a weir. Frayssinet Marie says, although there is nothing striking enough to attract visitors, Frayssinet is pretty enough to please those who do stop. Next, we pass through Lauzes. I can't find anything on the internet about the village. Cabrerets, tucked into a small gorge with overhanging cliffs, which contain prehistoric dwellings. It's a really pretty little village with a chateau dating back to the 1250s, called Chateau Diablo, or the Devil's Castle, built by the English. We stopped by the pretty little mill by the river with a beach just for lunch before getting back underway. Back running alongside the lot into an area where the cliffs overhang the road to the point where they become tunnels. I was hoping to go over an old bridge, but having looked at it, it seems that I was actually too big for it, so I had to turn round and follow the road on this bank. Saint-Cirq-le-Sainte. I stop on the side of the road to take some pictures of this village on the other bank, and this is where I really ought to do some research before driving down these roads, because it looks like it was worth a visit. But this is hindsight 4 months later. La Toulouse. This village is really pretty, and set into the cliffs high above are prehistoric and Celtic dwellings. According to the internet, these date back to the 5th century BC, and they're still providing shelter ever since. Some more modern houses are still built back into the cliffs, as you can see on the left-hand side of the road as we go down. On the riverbank somewhere is a medieval mill. Larnagol is a similar village, tiny little village to La Toulouse, tucked in against the hillside. Cajarc is a medieval village featuring narrow alleyways, 13th century structures, and ancient half-timbered houses. The day as we went through, it was market day. Loads of people around, and I was trying not to run them over. We passed through Saujac, heading for Ambeyrac. On the way, we come across La Saut de la Moura. In English, it means monkey's leap. Once upon a time, in the 15th century, a monk named Sidon set off pilgrimage to Cognac, also in the Aveyron area, with his pet monkey and a goat. He walked across the edge of Cos, just above Saujac is now. He tripped over and fell over the edge. His belt caught on a tree, saving him and his monkey. As he hung there, he spotted a cave and decided that this was a sign that is where he should stay, right there. So he did. This hermit and his monkey became quite a local celebrity. Frequented visitors came to his cave, bringing him food and seeking his advice on many matters. One such visitor was Ghislaine, the 16-year-old daughter of Auguste, Lord of Montauban, a fortified village directly across the lot facing Sidon's cave. Another frequent visitor was Reynard, the son of Auguste's fiercest rival, Geraf, who you can guess what happened. Yes, Ghislaine and Renaud fell in love. Star-crossed villas whose fathers hated one another. When Lord Ongar found out, he screamed a curse. I swear by the devil, I'd rather throw you thrown off the monk's rock than marry the son of my rival. Ghislaine was distraught, so she went to Sidon and asked him what she should do. He told her on the day that her father went out hunting to come to his cave with her best dress. When she arrived, he dressed the old blind monkey in it and flung him off the rock in front of the cave. Lord Ongar, hunting along the lots, saw his daughter's brilliant red dress flying through the air as the monkey plunged to the valley below. Thinking his daughter had jumped to her death and full of remorse, he recanted his oath and ran along the lot to find Sidon, who then revealed the deception. Jubilant, Lord Ongar embraced his daughter, blessed their union, and Renaud. They were married in Montauban Castle, and their fathers reconciled. Everybody lived happily ever after, except the monkey, of course. Coming out of Ambeyrac, we head for Capdenac, our overnight stop. There is not much to say about this, but the campsite is really pretty alongside the river, and we decide to stay for 2 nights. In the evening, I put the drone up in the air and take a flight along the river and do an overview of the area. What I hadn't realized until watching the video back was that the part of the town across the river is on a rocky promontory, is actually in a loop of the river. Not very wide. From the high spots, you can see that the other side of the loop is only about 100 meters or so from this side of the loop. Directly opposite the campsite is an outfall, and I wondered where it went to. But if you look closely on the shot, you can see that it actually flows through the cliff across to the other side of the river. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. If you have, then please like and subscribe. I will leave you with a map of the area and what we've done today, and we will see you next time. Good night.